Getting the blocks out. It looks like it. Yes! And the guns are off.
That is another meet record.
She looked fantastic.
Splashes all over the place here in the final stretch.
Putting his foot on the gas here, and he is going to take the win.
Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of Pending Ratification, where we take a deeper dive into the lives of track and field and cross-country athletes away from the sport itself. I, your host Keenan Gray, had a chance to sit down with Addison Ritzenhein of Niwot High School in this very first episode. Of course, everyone knows her as the 2023 Nike Cross Nationals champion. But in this episode, we learn a little bit more of what she's like outside of running, including her love for animals, her love for water, which is swimming, paddleboarding, and just being able to, enjoy life hanging out with her friends. Here we go in this episode of Pending Ratification. Addison Ritzenhein, senior, Niwot High School in Colorado, the first ever guest on Pending Ratification. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
This is an inaugural thing for us. I'm going to learn as much about this show as you're going to learn about this. And I hope our audience is able to learn a little bit more about you outside of the running scene, because we know you as an NXN champion, the daughter of one of the greatest U.S. distance runners of all time, and just, a down-to-earth human being as well when it comes to, just being on the course. It seems like you're always having fun. I think that was the biggest takeaway I really had from you last year when we chatted at NXN, which I think is honestly the last time that you and I actually had a conversation.
Yeah.
Prior to today. So catch me up on life. Senior year. Can you believe it?
I know. It's crazy to think about. It's been exciting. I've gotten to spend a lot of time with our new freshmen on the team. I didn't really do much over the summer, so I kind of just trained. We went up to Steamboat Springs as a cross-country group for our camp. But besides that, it's just been school and getting back into getting good grades. And it's been exciting just hanging out with friends.
Yeah. School seems like it's been going pretty well for you over the 4 years. I did some research. 4.3 GPA that I see.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
So a little bit, I'm not saying you're an overachiever per se, but a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. I take a lot of AP classes. I'm trying to get as many credits as I can and then put that towards NAU.
Yeah. So, going into senior year, a lot of, seniors, whether they're athletes or just, normal kids that go to school. Have you guys done anything fun to kind of start off the year and kick things off? Like, has there been a senior sunrise? Has there, something that you guys have been all able to get together and just hang out?
Yeah, we had a senior sunrise about a month or two ago, which was really fun. I got to wake up early and spend time with my friends and take fun pictures. Besides that, there's a senior skip day. And I still went to half the day for school, but besides that, I would say that's the main thing, senior sunrise.
So really, you did not do a true senior skip day then? You just did half the day?
No, I had to go for a math lesson. So
why couldn't you just be a rebel and just skip the entire day?
I mean, I could, but I have a test coming up, so I figured might as well.
Again, circling back to the part that she's a little bit of an overachiever, but hey, she's going to be heading off to Northern Arizona next fall, which we can dive deeper into a little bit about that. So, outside of running, as I said, this is a show, I should say, where we kind of dive deeper into the lives of athletes, and we'll talk a little bit, more later on down the road about, career defining moments. But, one of the things that I found interesting about you as I did a little bit of research and then of course asked you some questions is you used to sing.
I did.
You
yes.
used to be a part of your school's choir. Tell me a little bit about that and what led to that interest for you.
Yeah. So actually in 6th grade, I played the violin for a while. It was a mandatory credit. So I figured I'd just join the orchestra. And then when I moved to Colorado, I wanted to try something different, so I joined choir. And so I did that in 7th and 8th grade. And then I did that in 9th and 10th grade as well because it was kind of like a mandatory credit, but I also I knew some people in it, and I don't do it anymore, but it was definitely an interesting part of my life.
If you'd have kind of look back at it, do you miss it? Like, do you still kind of wish you did play some of the violin or sing a little bit?
I would say yeah, I would like to try play the violin again. I feel like it was honestly really cool, learning that. As for the singing part, I feel like I'm happy to not really do it anymore. It was a big commitment. You kind of had to go to all the concerts, and sometimes it just interfered with practices. So I feel like it's definitely been a little better with my schedule not doing it. But having that skill and being able to do it with my friends, that was definitely a fun part of it.
I myself, back in my day, which gosh, that was what, a little over 10 years ago, when I was in middle school, I not required. Well, I guess I was required, not forced to, but I was required to take some sort of musical class when I was in middle school, and I chose band. And percussion seemed like that was the route for me, because that to me was the only instrument that I really could play. So I can only imagine having to play the violin and the difficulties of that. I got to imagine that's one of the harder instruments to learn. So you have some patience, don't you?
Yeah, I would say so. I feel like the violin, it was hard to pick up. There was definitely, my parents and my brother definitely heard a lot of screeching sounds and stuff. But my brother actually used to play the drums a lot, and so he had a drum set. So, yeah.
It's a little karma thrown back at him for annoying you with the drums. And hey, if Dad is complaining about the screeching, he's got other bigger issues he has to deal with. So, but as you mentioned, you like hanging out with your friends. Specifically, shopping's a big deal in you. And I feel like that's a lot of big deal for high school girls, is to go out on the weekend, hang out with their friends, and go shopping. So when you do have the time, what does that look like with your friends and just going to hang out and have a good time?
Yeah, I really like to put some emphasis on my social life and hang out with my friends. A lot of them are basically just my teammates, so it's pretty nice because we can go to practice and then we can just go right to the mall, and we have a bunch of different options around. There's Pearl Street down in Boulder, or we can go to Denver and go to a bigger mall. But usually we walk around, we talk, and we hit all of our favorite stores, and then we go and get food after. It was pretty chill and low key because we have lots of training, and we get tired, so we try to keep it pretty chill and low key. Yeah.
Is that a time when you guys are out and about, you kind of just put running to a side? Do you guys even talk about running outside?
No, not at all. We try to keep that at practice, just because we talk about running a lot when we're at practice, so might as well try to take a break from it and kind of reset. And I feel like that's very healthy and a big part of your life, to just kind of leave practice and running things at practice, and then enjoy just your social life with your friends.
What are some topics that come about?
We talk a lot about TikTok trends, just little silly kind of things. But we talk about stores, when we're shopping, especially. We talk about just a lot of random things. I feel like nothing too deep or anything.
Yeah. Is there someone on the team that is obsessed with TikTok and makes you guys do TikTok dances, whether it's at practice or meets?
I would say that's a good question. I would say we don't really have a TikTok account that we run or do we don't really post videos, but we kind of just make the videos and save them to our drafts to look at. And I feel like me and Anna honestly do that a lot. Yeah, I would say we're the biggest ones that do that.
What's the latest one you made?
I would say we made a transition video for our cross country race a few days ago.
It's a classic one. You got to keep it simple, and it seems like that's the way to go. I've seen that trend a lot, and it's a fun one. I'm not saying I make TikToks myself per se.
Yeah.
But I do have the TikTok app. I do scroll and I watch a lot of the videos in there and get a good laugh out of them. So that's definitely an enjoyable thing. So, but for you personally, when you're hanging out by yourself or, on your own adventure, you really like the water.
Mm-hmm.
You seems like you tend to gravitate anywhere it is, the water, whether it's swimming or, water parks, paddleboarding. I mean, if it boils down to just swimming and water park and paddleboarding, how do you rank those in order? Like, are you swimming in a river first, or how would you rank them?
I would say I really like water parks just because there's a lot to do. I usually go with my friends. We have a water park in Denver, and it's called Water World. And so usually you go, everyone in Colorado usually goes with their friends at least a couple times in the summer. So I say that one's definitely up there. I really like pools. If we go to hotels or anything, I really, really enjoy just swimming around in the pools. Mm-hmm. And then obviously in the summer I go paddleboarding a lot with my friends. And we even go tubing down the rivers, in the mountains, and usually anything with water. Yeah.
You've traveled all over the world. What's the coolest, bestest, I'm trying to think of other verbs to say, or adjectives or whatever, place that you've swam?
Oh, I would say probably in St. Moritz in Switzerland. There's this really nice indoor pool, and it kind of it was an indoor-outdoor pool, and so it kind of overlooked the mountains if you went to the outdoor part of it. It was really cool. You could see all the snow and the mountains, and it was also partially a water park as well, which is pretty cool.
Because you said you like swimming and water of sorts, do you count agua jogging part of that? Is that something you have ventured into?
Yeah, my dad used to aqua jog a lot whenever we'd go to little pools or lakes in Michigan, and so when we were playing in the water, he would be aqua jogging, and so I always tried to kind of do it with him, but I never really was able to kind of do it. I didn't really enjoy it much, and now I actually do it for cross training. So I enjoy it if it's in moderation for sure.
What are the difficulties of agua jogging? I myself have never done it before. I hear Yard actually does quite a bit of agua jogging.
Yeah, I would say trying to get the right form is definitely a challenge. I had to look up a video to make sure I was doing it right. Also staying afloat while you have proper technique and form is also very difficult. So you can put one of those little belts around, but it's kind of humbling if you're in a public pool. So yeah.
This is why I don't try to embarrass myself if I've put myself in that situation. I will just go to the pool and lay out in the sun. That's about as much as I'll do if I'm at the pool side. So as I mentioned, travel has been a big part of your life. Of course, your dad has probably and your mom, of course, have also just taken you around the globe. I mean, you've seen whether it's Paris or you're, at Milrose games in New York City, Switzerland, visiting the On headquarters. For you, what's been your favorite place to ever visit, and can you see yourself, going there here in the future?
Yeah, I feel I really enjoyed Paris. I really like Paris. I like the entire vibe of the city. I think it's also really fun just being able to watch the Olympics there and kind of just run around the city. And I usually am in training whenever we go to another country or whatever. So my dad usually runs with me, and we kind of just sightsee around the city. It's kind of our little thing that we do on trips. And yeah, I would definitely say Paris is one of my absolute favorites. I would love to take a trip there again eventually. I really like Switzerland as well. Me and my brother both love that area. We love St. Moritz.
But if you had to choose one,
I would say Paris probably overall. I like looking at the city and stuff.
Yeah. Outside of, watching your dad coach his athletes at the Olympics, did you get a chance? And as you said, you love swimming. Did you go watch swimming at the Olympics?
I didn't go watch swimming at the Olympics, but I did go to a water park there.
Well, at least you made up for it on that front. But do you have, I mean, I don't know how much you watch in swimming. I mean, at least when I was in high school, I remember like Missy Franklin being a big deal. Obviously, Katie Ledecky is a big deal now, one of the greatest to ever, swim in the United States. Do you have a particular, I mean, do you watch swimming or you pay attention to it?
I would say definitely not as much as running. I never really paid too much attention to like the big names or anything. I mean, obviously, like I know like Katie Ledecky, and I feel like she's definitely my favorite swimmer, even though she's probably like the biggest one. But yeah, I never really paid too much attention to it.
Yeah, because I have met actually a lot of runners, really good runners, I should say, who during the winter time, instead of course, indoor track, if that's not offered at your school or you just don't have access to it, a lot of them do swimming.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's offered at Niwot High School or not.
Yeah. I mean, many of our like varsity runners, we just train through indoor season because like Colorado doesn't really have an indoor season, but we mainly just train through. But I know like some of the girls who join our like out of season club, like one example is like Emily Cohen. I know she does swimming, which is pretty cool. Like seeing like a multi-sport athlete like that.
For sure. Another thing, having lived in Colorado, being up at Boulder at least, you guys are higher than Denver, so that's way up there. But so what is it about heights that doesn't scare you? Because it kind of scares me, I'm going to be honest here.
Yeah, I feel like I've just never really been scared of heights, really. I like the adrenaline rush if it's like, I don't know, like a big roller coaster or something. I like being on like roller coasters with my friends because like usually I'm the one who always like wants to do the bigger, scarier rides, and I have to like convince my friends to do it. But I've just never really been scared of them. I enjoy it actually. Is
there someone on the team that refuses to ride roller coasters?
I would say it would definitely probably be Anna Prock. She doesn't like heights at all. She like if she thinks about heights, she gets like so scared. So she is like my best friend, so like we like could probably never go on a roller coaster together. But
so if you were to go to an amusement park, Anna's probably not the first one you're choosing then.
She would. It would take a lot of convincing. She really doesn't like heights. No. But
what if it was like, Anna, please do this, like ride this roller coaster because I'm your bestie and I'll pay you $100.
That would. I feel like she'd probably have a heart attack, but she might consider it.
Sometimes you got to take risks to hang out with your besties, and if that was the last time that she would see you, I would hope that she would ride a roller coaster.
Hopefully.
So as we continue along here, you love being around animals like that's the last, and that's kind of the last part of kind of just learning about you outside of this running journey that you've been a part of, but. You love animals. You volunteered at an animal shelter when you were younger. Where does this love for animals come from? And how many pets do you got? I think that's the other big thing.
Yeah. I have 2 pets. I have a dog and a cat, and they were both rescues. They were actually both found on the street. My dog was found in Arizona, and then my cat was found in Michigan. I feel like I loved animals ever since I was like really, really young. I used to ask for like anything to do with animals for my birthday, like if it was like animal collars to put on like my stuffed animals, like I really just enjoyed being around animals. I even had like 4 pet hamsters growing up. I had another dog. He was a pug. I spent a lot of time around my grandma's dogs. I don't know, I feel like I just have like a soft spot for animals, so yeah.
Are you thinking about, and I don't know if NAU has this or not, veterinary?
That's what I actually wanted to be for a very long, very, very long time.
And that's something
like it's a lot of school, but yeah, I considered it for a very long time. I don't know if so much anymore, just because like it's so much school, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, running's kind of taken up a little bit of your time, I guess, over the last couple of years. But I mean, if you were to kind of reflect on, thinking that if and when you decide to step away from, competitive running, would it be something that you would want to pick up on? I know you said there's a lot of school probably involved with that because there's a lot of science.
Yeah.
getting a PhD, or again, I don't know. I might be just saying the most absurd
Yeah.
things right now, but was that something you would consider?
Definitely, probably. I would definitely like, even like being a vet tech or something. Like I would want to work near animals for sure.
Mm-hmm. I do want to circle back into, breakthrough moments and defining moments of your career. To me, and you can obviously, say it, whether or not it is the defining moment. 2023 Nike Cross Nationals was that breakthrough moment for you, I believe. Tell me about that day. And again, winning as a sophomore, your team was there. Your team finishes second at NXN, and it was, one of the more surprising victories, I should say, especially since, people were starting to get to know who you are as a person, as an athlete.
Yeah, I feel like that was definitely probably my like breakthrough moment. That day was very special to me. I think about it a lot, just because like my team worked so hard to be there as well. I think I won because my team was there and I wanted my team to win. So I feel like I really just put my best self out there for the best chance for my team to win. It was definitely a very special, exciting day. It was very unexpected. I really did not expect to win. I think I went in with a very like loose race plan. I had honestly like no idea where I was going to finish, no idea where I was at. So I feel like that was just something very special. And I remember like seeing my dad afterwards, and that was also very emotional. And yeah, I feel like that day will forever live replaying in my head. And yeah.
How many times have you gone back and watched that finish?
I would honestly say like not too much. Like I usually don't try to like I try to like replay it in my head more than I watch it, just because I don't know. I feel like I try to like stay away from social media kind of pressures, especially during the season. But I would say like a handful of times, and I feel like it always brings me back to that moment and being there with my dad and my team, my coaches, and it's so special.
In that moment, and it's a great picture, and I encourage people to go to NikeCrossNationals.com to just see the interaction that you had with your dad. What was that moment like? What was the first thing he said to you in that moment?
I feel like it was honestly more just crying than words. I think I could really just tell how proud he was in that moment, and how I remember like seeing him on the course, and he was running like so fast. I think he was running faster than I was on that course to get to the finish line before I could, because I think he knew that I had a shot at winning, and so I think he wanted to be like one of the first people to see me after my race. And yeah, lots of tears, lots of emotion, but it was very, very good.
Do you remember waking up race day and just thinking that you were going to win?
Absolutely not. Yeah, I thought maybe, I knew I was 18th, I believe, my freshman year. And so I was like maybe hoping like top 10. I really didn't think about it too much. I was really just thinking about my team the entire time. I had absolutely no idea that I could have a chance to win or even like podium. So that was like, in the moment, I was just shocked. I like didn't even think it was real.
Yeah. So as we, we're talking about it now, 2 years later about it, how has that moment defined your high school career?
Yeah, I feel like it really just shows how I like know what I'm capable of now. I think it's really boosted my confidence in a lot of races. And I feel like it just reminds me of how, like, what I work for, like how hard I work and where I'm putting that work towards. And I feel like I just really enjoyed being with my team in that moment. And so, I don't know, I feel like it shows a lot, because like last year was a kind of hard season. So I feel like just like thinking back to sophomore NXN, it just shows like what could be possible. And like, even if it's like a hard spot or whatever, that's still possible in the future.
Well, Addy, you're joined a long line of athletes that have won Nike Cross Nationals titles. So I think you can't take that for granted, of course. And, last year, what Jane was able to do, I think, of course, helped elevate all of us in some way. And I'm sure, you kind of feel the same way going into this season. It's like, all right, if that's what's going to take now to win a national title, I got to find my way to be able to step up my own game. And do you feel like you have in a way, even though you said that the junior season may have not, gone the way that you've wanted it to?
Yeah, I would say I definitely, I've always worked hard my entire 4 years, but I feel like I really put a lot more thought into it. I train hard. I recover well too. Like I eat, I sleep, I hydrate. I really emphasize on recovering properly. And I really try not to make it too serious. I feel like that's how I race my best, just not really trying to think about it too much, honestly. Kind of just like enjoy where I'm at and just having fun.
Yeah. Well, the next step in your journey, of course, is Northern Arizona, as I've mentioned a handful of times on here. Tell the folks out there what led to this decision to go to Flagstaff, and especially, Mike Smith leaves the program, and it's like, oh, okay, this is going to be a new journey, or a new era, I should say, at NAU. And I know Jared Cornfield is going to do a really good job, and I think he's done so far. They've had a great success within the first couple months of this season.
Yeah, for sure. What stood out to me about NAU was definitely the team, like the team environment and culture. They were really supportive when they were really uplifting and very optimistic. They were also very real. Like they really showed what it's like there. Even when I took my visit there, I already felt like I was part of the team. Like I didn't really feel like a recruit, and that's kind of when I knew I wanted to go there. I also formed a really good connection with Coach Cornfield, and he just kind of showed me what's possible and how I don't know, I'd be a great fit at NAU, and I really just see myself there. I also see a lot of resemblance between Boulder and Flagstaff, so it'll kind of feel like home.
Well, there might be a debate when you do go to school there and finish off your career. What's a better training area, Boulder or Flagstaff?
Yeah, that would be hard.
You might have to be careful about who you say that around.
Yeah, for sure. They're both great training spots, both at altitude. It would be very, very hard to choose. Yeah.
How is Northern Arizona going to prepare you for the future? Whether it's, getting an education, obviously wanting to pursue a professional career, I assume. And, just kind of what that can set you up for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I feel like NAU is a great place to kind of set up a professional career. I know Coach Cornfield coaches Elise Carani, and Elise Carani went to Niwot, so we know her pretty well. I feel like NAU is a program that really develops athletes very well and for the future. So I'm very excited about that. And then obviously school, I'm going to go in right now. I have 10 credits already from last year. So
you're already ahead.
Yeah. So I feel like I'll be pretty set for school as well.
So being the daughter of a coach, now I know he doesn't coach you per se, but you probably learn a lot of things. And I myself am the son of a basketball coach, obviously two different sports, basketball, running different entities. What has it kind of taught you as an athlete, as a person, to be, having a parent as a coach?
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of showed me that you can have a life outside of your profession, your coaching, your job. My dad comes home and he doesn't really talk about running that much. I feel like we try to just keep it family stuff. But I feel like it also, I'm able to see what a professional running career looks like through his athletes, or a professional coaching career as well. And I feel like you're able to see the ups and downs. and the hardships of the sport, which is pretty cool. It's also like a great resource to have. Like, I'm able to use the on gym whenever I need, and if I have like a problem or like a pain or something, my dad has many like connections with like physical therapists, so I'm very, very grateful that I have those amazing resources available.
Advice you would give to, younger athletes out there that, at some point, or I guess they already are, the sons or daughters of coaches, what do you feel like is the biggest thing that you've learned from being a child of a coach that you can, pass some wisdom on to some other athletes out there?
I feel like a very important one is you can create your own life and path, like with like disregarding like whatever your mother or father is doing. It's like if they're a coach, like I wanted to be a swimmer at first, but I ended up falling in love with running on my own without my dad, like making me run or whatever. But so it's kind of like a coincidence almost that I ended up like choosing running as well. But I feel like also just like keep having fun with it. That's also very important.
That is the most important thing is, being able to have fun when it's all said and done. And you want to be able to, when you do leave this sport, you don't want to leave any regrets behind. You want to be able to feel like, you did everything you wanted to accomplish. You feel like it was, everything you wanted to do, everything that it just felt right. So, and I think, you're on that path and you're creating that own path for yourself. As we, continue on with your running journey, which again, does not stop after this year, Northern Arizona, which I'm surprised. I'm sure you broke your dad and your mom's heart when you told them they weren't going to Colorado.
Yeah, for sure. My mom especially would have liked me to stay closer to home, but they're both happy that I'm going to be happy at NAU.
For sure. So as we kind of wrap things up here on this first edition of Pending Ratification, this is going to be the first time I ask this question, and hopefully, something that we continue on in pending ratification. Pending ratification, of course, means that, they're going to ratify a world record. It's waiting, blah, blah, blah. So, Addy, outside of running, this could be anything. What world record would you want to have in, and why?
I feel like if it wasn't outside of running, I would, like, even if I wasn't a runner or anything, I would choose the 100 meters dash. Like, I feel like being the fastest person.
Nothing in running. Nothing in running. It has to be off the track.
Hard. Okay. I would say getting a world record in something in gymnastics, like being like Simone Biles.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of world record you can get in there, but
most points, best routine. I don't know. I'm not an expert in gymnastics by any means, but okay. Well, there you have it. Addy Ritzenhein wants to be a world record holder in some sort of gymnastics event. Maybe that's something that she can pursue later down her path after she finishes up running. So, Addy, where can people find you on social media? Where can they see you up next in your running endeavors as you continue on this senior season?
Yeah, I have my Instagram account, and I'll be racing state in about like 2.5 weeks or so. Cool.
What's the Instagram account?
It's Addy Ritzenhein. I think it's just Addy Ritzenhein.
If people can't find that on there on social media, that's their own problem. They got to figure it out on their own. So, but Addy, I really appreciate your time. Again, congrats on all the success so far in your running career. I know it's going to continue to flourish as the years go by, and good luck the rest of the senior season. And just, as I always tell seniors at the high school level, enjoy every moment because you're never going to get it ever again. So enjoy every second of this last year of high school sports.
Thank you.
Our thanks to Addison Ritzenhein for joining us on this very first episode of Pending Ratification. You can, of course, find this episode and more to come on runnerspace.com and Athletic TV, or wherever you stream your podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Of course, I'm your host, Keenan Gray. This was produced and edited by Dakota Servillo. We hope to catch you next time on the newest episode of Pending Ratification.